And welcome back to my channel. Guys, you know the drill. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. Guys, today I am going to be talking about a show that I can't believe I have not talked about yet on my channel. And it is Heartstopper. I want to give my full-on thoughts about this show. First of all, what a show. What a darn freaking show this was. I binged it in one day. It's only 8 episodes, about 20-ish minutes. So you can watch this in literally like a day. Like, you definitely can watch this. If you can do Bridgerton in a day, you can definitely do Heartstopper in a day. So if you have not watched Heartstopper, highly recommend you go right now to your couch, put on Netflix, and watch this show. It is absolutely my favorite word to use on this channel. Fantastic. It's fantastic. It's phantasmic. I love everything about this show. Basically, so the show follows the story of Charlie and Nick, that are 2 boys who fall in love at an all-boys prep school in England. And yes, this show takes place in England, and everyone has an English accent, and I love every second about it. I love English accents. If you can't tell, because I love Bridgerton, but something about an English accent just... I just love everything about it. I love it. I love it all. I love it. And also, like, as I was watching the show, I realized that English shows are like really taking over fucking Netflix. Like, everything that is amazing to watch is like an English show. I mean, the actors, people from England are just really good at what they do. I'm just gonna put it out there. They are just good at what they do. And everyone on this show, speaking of English people being good, everyone on the show is just so good. And I love that we had the actress who plays Queen Elizabeth on The Crown is on it. I'm blanking on her name. Shame on me. But yeah, she... Hold on, let's look up her name, because it's gonna bother me that I don't remember. It's gonna bother me. Oh, there she is, Olivia Colman. How can I forget? Olivia Colman. It plays Nick's mother, and Nick is the one who is doesn't know that he's gay until he or bi or bi. He doesn't know that until he meets Charlie and starts to build a relationship with him, a friendship, and he starts to realize that there is something else that is going on within him, and she plays his mom, and there's a beautiful scene at the end when he kind of comes out to his mom saying like, hey, I'm gay, or I might even be bi, and she just takes it so beautifully, and it's so beautiful to see the story being, you know, shed in a positive light, not necessarily a family that does not approve. But obviously we all know that not all families will act like that, and that really breaks my heart. But I loved that this story really did, you know, lean into the positive of it. But back to the show. So the show in general is actually based off a graphic novel. It's a graphic novel series, and I've never read it. I don't really do graphic novels. Clearly I don't really read a lot, because I didn't read the Bridgerton books. I love reading. I don't know. I didn't know about this show. So thank you, Netflix, for taking it on and showing it to all of us, because now so many of us are watching this show and also going out to read these books. But yeah, it is based off a graphic novel, and I loved that the show really did take that as an influence as the way it was filmed. Oh, we're gonna get into it when I talk about why this show made me so happy, because that's, yeah. But this show, just in general, was a darn tearjerker. I'm not gonna lie. I was like on episode 2, and I was already crying. And not necessarily in a sad way, but in a happy way. And I think it was just because I was watching this show, and for the first time ever, it didn't feel like I was like, oh, I'm watching this show because they're trying to put it into my face that there are gay relationships out in the world. Or like, oh, let's just put this gay relationship or something like that in a movie. No. Watching this show felt like I was just watching any regular show about 2 people who are in love, or 2, not in love necessarily, but 2 people who end up liking each other, and how to navigate those feelings through high school. Because we all go through it, whether we like the same sex, whether we like the opposite sex, we all go through that feeling of being like, oh my God, does that person like me? do they want to be with me? Do they want to make me their boyfriend or their girlfriend? Or do they just want to like mess around, or do they want to hide me? We all go through that in high school. So the fact that I was watching this on TV and it felt so normal, and that's what it should be. It should be normal to watch these kind of stories in real life and to watch them on our TV screens. I think it should be completely normal, and that's what I loved about it. And I think that's what made me cry, was because I was so happy to see it on TV. I was so incredibly happy to see it on TV, and I was just incredibly like, and I related to it in my own way. And it was just in the best absolute way, just a tearjerker of a series, and I loved every second of it. I loved that this show really also had just so much representation, and that is all we can ask for in TV these days, in film these days, in the art form and whatever it is. I think it's so important that we really show different types of people, different kinds of people, of all skin types, of all sizes, of all ethnicities, everything like that, just on our screen. I think it is so important for every single person to be able to look on TV and be like, that's me. Oh my God, they're dealing with exactly what I'm dealing with, and they look like me. And this show just nailed it. Like, they hit the nail on the head with this show, with everything that they did. But let's get into why. I've got a couple of bullet points I want to get through here of the reasons why this show made me so happy. Why this show? Okay, number one, like I said before, I loved that the story allowed it to be a story that should be on our TVs every time we watch a new show. This shouldn't be a new thing like, oh my God, we're watching a show about gay people, or about someone who's trans, or about someone who's non-binary. Like, I can't wait for that shit to just be like, all right, next show, we're watching it. Not like, oh my God, we're watching a show about the LGBTQ plus community. You know, I loved that about this show. Like I also said, representation. Black, white, Asian, trans, bi, gay, lesbian, everything was represented on this film. And I loved every second of it. I also loved that there was the representation also within it was like representation with not only like, oh, this person's black, but it was also just nice to see someone who's black just using their own hair. You know, we back in the day, you know, it was like, they had to put the wigs on the black women. They had to have their hair straight. No, I loved that this show just showed everyone for the beauty that they are. Their hair, what they look like, and they were all shades. Shades is what I also loved. I loved the shades on this show. Like I said, black, white, Asian, just all of it. And every single person had their own look. I loved that Charlie had like curly brown hair, but then you had Nick who had his straight blonde hair. Then you had Tao who had his black like hair, but it was like this weird, like, I hated it, but it was like his thing. And I'm pretty sure that they said that in the comic book that's what he looks like, so makes sense. But he's got that like his own look. You have Elle, who's a trans woman. And she has her big curly hair, and not once did I ever stop and be like, oh, that person's a trans? No, I didn't think about that at all. She was just a girl who's going to an all-girls school who finds out that she likes her friend. Like, what could be more simple than that? That's what everyone should be. There shouldn't be any of this like, trans, gay, why do you like this person? No, everyone is human, and everyone is allowed to love who they love, and you just look at them and that's it. I loved that this show was 8 episodes and 25 minutes each. The only reason why I liked it was a negative and a pro. A positive because I could binge it so easily, and I could rewatch the show so easily. You don't have to be like, oh my God, I have to watch like a full hour of like 8 episodes. Sometimes that can be, you know, a lot. You know, it can be a lot sometimes, but with this show, you can literally binge watch it anytime you want in its completion, and it would be just as good. I loved the graphics that they showed to portray this show on TV. I loved the graphics because it was basically like the novel was coming to life. I loved the fact that they would show like the conversations that you would be having with your friends. The fact that they highlighted that on screen was so cool. I love when TV shows do this because it really puts you into the mindset of what you would be like if you were texting your friends in a group chat, or the guy that you like, or you're DMing the girl or the guy you like on Instagram, and the whole like they're typing, they're not typing. You know, like I loved that they showed that because it really like put you in their shoes, because you've been there, you know exactly what that feels like. So I loved that they showed that. Like I said, I loved the graphics. It was literally like a graphic novel, and I just chef's kiss. Also the music, the soundtrack of the show was phenomenal. Every time there was like the music, like the score, but also like the actual soundtrack, the songs that they used throughout the show were so fun. I was like, what song is this? I want this soundtrack. Like I was hyped on the soundtrack of this show. I absolutely loved that. And then also I want to talk about and give a special shout out because chemistry is a very big thing when in shows and in movies. When you have two characters that are playing opposite of each other, who are supposed to be attracted to each other, who like each other, who love each other, there has to be a certain chemistry. And not to talk about Bridgerton again, but you know, we had Kate and Anthony, who have had one of the best chemistry I've ever seen on TV. But it's also nice to see it across other characters as well. And I have to give a shout out to the actors who played Charlie and Nick, because I thought that they were really good together. Their chemistry was absolutely just, how can I say it, was so cute. And I really believed them. They were so cute every time they were on screen, every time they wanted to like hold hands but didn't want to show anyone. Anytime that they were together, like saying hi, like it was so, they were so charismatic, so cute to see on TV. I believed them. I believed that these two characters really liked each other, and that one of them was really just trying to, you know, discover himself, trying to figure out what is going on here. Like, why do I like this boy? Am I bi? Do I like women too? And then just having this other boy who's already out, just being there and supporting this person who is confused and trying to figure out what it is that's going on. And anytime they were on screen together, my heart melted. It was so darn cute. I think it's episode 3 or 4. I forget which one. I think it's episode 4. Because I think episode 3 is when they kissed for the first time, and episode 4 it starts off with Nick showing up at his doorstep and it's raining, and I was in love. Because it felt so normal. I was like, oh my god, this guy. It just reminded me of like growing up, how I would watch these romantic movies when the guy shows up at the girl's doorstep the next day and it's raining, and he professes that he likes her, that he loves her, that he wants to be with her, and then they kiss in the rain. Like, that literally happened, except it was 2 boys. And it was still so beautiful and magical to watch. And I think it's because these actors just really, they pulled it off. They did so well together, and I could literally cry because it was such a cute scene, them two together. Oh my god, I'm literally crying right now because just thinking about that scene is one of my favorites. And I think it's because, like I said, growing up, I always used to watch these romantic films with the guy showing up at the woman's doorstep and just, you know, telling them that they're into them. And they kiss in the rain, and it's so cute. And seeing it on screen was, with these 2 boys, was just magical. I was so damn happy. And like I said, I enjoyed the whole texting thing, even between the 2 characters. The whole texting, because, you know, we've been there. We have all been there. When you are DMing or texting that guy or that girl that you like, and you're just typing, and then you see that they're typing, and then they stop, and you're like, why are they stopping? And then they're typing again, and then they stop, and then, or they just don't type ever again. Like, we've been there on the other side of like just waiting. What are they gonna say? Do they like me? What do they think about me? Oh my God, like, oh, they played it so well. And I loved that first conversation that they had when Nick defends him from that stupid guy. I don't even want to remember his name because he's an asshole. He's a bad boy is what he is. He's a bad friend and person in the show. Shame on that person. But, you know, when he's trying to, like, kiss Charlie, and then Nick comes in and defends him, and then later on they're, like, texting, and he's like, I don't want you to talk to that guy ever again. I'm gonna beat him up. And then he's like, I'm your friend, like, I care about you. And I was just like, oh, I've been there on the other side. I've been there on the other side, especially if you like that person and you want more, and you're wanting to find out more. Like, do they like me? Do they like me? So I thought they just knocked it out of the park. I also liked the backlash they showed about you coming out as being gay in this show. You know, we have the lesbian couple who, one of them, you know, they decide to finally come out on Instagram, public official, Instagram official, and then you have the people around you who are just like, oh God, she's a lesbian, oh my God, and like, that's so weird, or ew, that's gross, or whatever. And you know, this person, these characters have to live with the fact that they've decided that they're coming out as a couple, that they don't want to be in hiding anymore, which no one should be. I thought that I liked that they showed both ends. They showed the positive ends, and then they showed the negative ends, and I loved that. I loved that you got to see how that affected the characters with them coming out to the public, but also at the same time being happy that they're able to be open in front of everyone. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to be hidden anymore. Like that scene, I think it's episode 3. Don't mind me if I say the episode's wrong, but you know what scene I'm talking about. It's when they go to the party, and it's basically also when Nick and Charlie kiss. And it's basically when Nick sees the two girls just giving into their love and just not giving in two F's about the fact that they're dancing and they're having fun together and they just want to be. And he sees them, and that gives him the courage to be like, you know what? Maybe I should tell Charlie how I feel. Maybe I should kiss him. Maybe I should. And I loved that. I absolutely loved it. And also the soundtrack on that part was also just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. But yeah, and finally, it's also what I mentioned before, is the whole coming out to your family and being accepted. I love that they went the positive route in this storyline, because you know, we've heard many stories. I've heard many stories. I have a lot of friends in the LGBTQ plus community who it was not easy coming out to their family, or maybe even haven't come out to their family yet because of the fear of doing that. And I loved that the show showed a really nice story when Nick came out to his mom at the end of the episode, in episode 8, and just said, hey, he's my boyfriend, and I think I might be bi. I'm not sure. I think I'm bi. And the mom was just like, you know, she just hugged her son and said, I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you couldn't come to me and tell me that. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a beautiful scene. I thought it was well acted. Excuse me. Whew. I only get emotional, like I said, because I have a lot of friends in that community who I know what they're going through, and I'm very, very close to them. And I know it's hard sometimes to come out to your family or just not be able to. So I'm very proud for if any of my friends are watching this, or anybody who has come out to their family, I'm very proud of you. And if you haven't, that's totally okay. You come out when it is your time. But yeah, I loved this show. I loved this show so much. But okay, what am I looking forward to in season 2? Because it has been greenlit. It has been greenlit. it has been greenlit. I'm so excited. I'm very, very happy because I can't wait to continue this, continue the story. I'm looking forward to continuing the love story between Charlie and Nick. Who knows, maybe we're going to be going to the I love yous next. Obviously, we're going to be probably diving into more, I don't know, I've never read the graphic novel, so maybe the graphic novel, I don't know. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't know, but I'm like, does it talk about, you know, maybe there's a girl who comes into the picture and Nick might be kind of attracted to her because he does believe that he is bi by the end of this season. So, you know, is that going to change? Him now coming out, is that going to change the way that he is perceived in the rugby team? Will this change his relationship with Charlie? You know, now that he is out and there's all these other factors at bay. How is it going to be for Nick being out in the school? Because, you know, Charlie is already known. Everyone knows that he's gay already. There's not this coming out situation in front of the public. But now, you know, will this next season focus more on how that affects Nick? The idea of being publicly out there with his boyfriend. I'm really, you know, looking forward to seeing that story progress. I'm also looking forward to Elle and Tao. Are they going to get together? What does this mean for their friendship? Because at the end of episode 8, you know, I think it's like midway through the season, Elle admits that she does have feelings for Tao, and you can kind of see that there's something there, but like no one's really making the move yet. And then at the end of episode 8, they each have a moment where they think, like, you think they're gonna kiss and then they don't. And I think Elle freaks out and she just doesn't feel like she can't do it, and she walks out when it looks like they're gonna kiss, and then she's like, oh, let's go do something else, and she leaves. I'm looking forward to, like, are they going to get together, or we're going to get more story about Ellen Tao, because I definitely want to see that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what that also means for their friendship, because as you know, friendships are really, really, are a scary thing to break. If you have a friendship with someone first, someone who you've only known as a friend, and over time maybe feelings develop, the idea of really putting yourself out there and saying, hey, I actually really like you, let's see if we can make it work. What happens if it doesn't work? Do you lose that friendship? Is that it? Those are very big things that people think about when they start to really like the person that they're best friends with. If they're like, oh my God, I like them, and then you have to tell them that. And what if they don't feel the same way? How are you going to continue in a friendship? It's so much, so much. So looking forward to see how that plays out next season, hopefully. And I'm also looking forward to possibly making making longer episodes. That would be really nice. Like I said, I love that there was 8 episodes in 25 minutes because you can quickly finish it. But honestly, I felt like I wanted more. I didn't want it to end. I was like, wait, no, what? No, I wanted to keep going. So yeah, I wanted them to give us more. Give us more. Heartstopper season 2. Let's campaign. Give us more. Give us more. But anyway, guys, those are all of my thoughts pretty much on Heartstopper season 1. So tell me, guys, have you watched Heartstopper? Have you watched it? If you have, comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this show. Did you love it? Were you okay with it? Are you excited for season 2? What are you looking forward to in season 2? Please comment down below and let me know how you're feeling about that. But anyway, guys, you know the drill. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you so much. So much. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!